Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm in4 here. Today we are back for Phantom Blaster Dragon. I played this deck, I liked it, then I sold it because of monetary reasons, and yeah, I got a request recently to cover the deck, so I borrowed one, and yeah, we're covering it today. This has been a while because I've been sick recently, so that's why there's been a huge delay in videos, honestly. This is more likely than not going to be the last D deck profile before Fish. During Fish, I'll probably just get people to come and cover Fish because I'm not interested in Fish or whatever, the Fish, Google, whatever, I don't really care. V-Call, you will see a lot of stuff from me as well as Fate. We're just going to cover a lot. We're even going to get Nami to cover Hosen if he comes out from his menstrual cycle. So beyond that, let's actually cover PBD. So, we start with full bar as a starter. I know there's a better starter out there, but we want to be canonically accurate. You need to start with the dog. Blaster Javelin. Blaster Javelin is 2 skills. When rolled upon by Blaster Dog, you reveal the top card of your deck and Superior Call. It's just like Fort, but yeah, it's just like Fort. It's equally bad, but it's not that bad because you can actually use the corpses on the board for benefit. If you put an order card, you mill it too, which is not good. But you get it as rest, and you may be wondering, oh, why do I want it as rest? Well, you see Blaster Duck. Second skill of Blaster Javelin is during your turn, if your Vanguard is Blaster, it gets 2k. So it's a passive 10k attacker, 10k beater. It's a great one. It's flexible. I like it. Next, we move on to everyone's edgy man of darkness, Blaster Duck. His skill is Counter Blast 1, retire 1 of your rear guards. When he's placed on V or R, you sack 1 of your own, you sack 1 of your opponent's. And then he gets +1 drive. He gets the drive check if you're on Vanguard Circle, so I need to clarify this. No, he does not drive check on rearguard unless you get the OT, which is Armatia, which is here. Only in the situation where you have an Armatia active, then you can actually get the drive checks of the rearguard Blaster Dart. If not, you just don't get it. I just want to make it clear. I will not answer any question in the comments regarding this because I've seen this question so many times. It's yeah, I would have thought someone would have tackled this by now. Never mind. Second skill is if one of your own rear guards have been retired this turn, this unit gets 5,000 power. So it's also a 15k beater. That's not bad. So yeah, there's really not much to say about Blaster Duck. They just took the V version of him and they just splashed it in a bit of the magic power aspect of the 5k. Is it good to be played in other Keter decks like, say, I don't know, Bastion? No. Hexor? Maybe. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But it's a rare, so it's nice and affordable. Lastly, it's everyone's favorite edgy dragon, Phantom Blaster Dragon. He has been in all 3 formats now, so you definitely know who he is. He has 2 skills. When placed on a Vanguard Circle, choose one of your units in Soul with Blaster in its name and Superior Call it. So, as you saw for the right line, you have Blaster Javelin and Blaster Dark as options. Don't pick the obvious route and just, oh, Blaster Dark. Because you may actually have enough beaters in the front row. If you need a booster, you can actually go for Javelin instead. And every time you Persona Ride, you not only get the 10k and the Persona Ride effect, you can also Superior Call the Phantom Blaster Dragons before you or even a Dark. Really, these are the only Blaster cards in the deck as per now until we get Phantom Blaster Overlord in 2022 or something. But beyond that, it's actually not bad. The fact that you have a great 3-2-1 at your disposal, all with magic number effects, I really couldn't ask for more. Yes, a lot of people hate Phantom Blaster Dragon as being a weak card in a weak deck. I still wouldn't exactly say it's weak. I think it's okay in some matchups. Yes, it has very bad matchups against the meta, which is probably why people think it's horrible. But I feel, who knows, maybe if new support or if people just, were a bit luckier, I guess, but you can't really accredit it to luck. You could do better with this deck. Its second skill is Counter Blast 1. Choose a net total of 3 units on your side and retire it. Choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and retire it, and this unit gains 10,000 power and +1 critical until end of turn. Very traditional Phantom Blaster Dragon. It sacks 3 of your own, sacks 2 of your opponents, so it kind of does a neat control aspect to it, which is nice, but of course then it just paints Phantom Blaster Dragon in the same niche as every other control deck. If your opponent has no bodies on the board, you kind of don't even want to use this effect, even, because you don't want to sack 3 just for the tank and crit. I mean, that's horrible. So yeah, you don't always have to use this skill, so that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, I can kind of see why people don't like it, but who knows, you know, it's not that bad in my opinion, and it's quite cheap actually. I was expecting this deck to be very expensive, but it actually was quite cheap, so yeah. We'll start off with the Great Trees. We play 1 copy of Phantom Blaster Dragon for the right deck, as well as 3 copies for the main deck, so that's a 4, and then we play 3 copies of Violence Dragon. So let's break it down real quick. I've already discussed Phantom Blaster Dragon, I don't need to talk about it. Let's talk about Violence Dragon. Wieland's Dragon, I don't know how you say it in English. I thought it was Violence Dragon, apparently it's Wieland's Dragon, I'm so being told. His skill is very simple. When he's retired from the Vanguard Circle, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, choose all of your units with Blaster in its name, and they gain 5,000 power each. So it's quite expensive. It's quite expensive. But you do get overall net power as long as your board has Blaster bodies, which is not bad because we do play the max number of Blaster bodies, so it's neat. But it's not exactly the greatest option. Really, I just use it just to type numbers and end the game. You can choose not to do. You can choose not to use Wieland's Dragon. I think it's fine. People play Facade in PBD. People play stuff like Cortez. People play Rufflu. Those are relatively okay options as well. So you can experiment with it. Wieland's is just the one that is quite automatic for most people since it's the blasted out support. I thought it was okay too in my playtest run. I don't think it's horrible. But I certainly see this guy being cuttable in the future. Any form of better generic can easily take this guy out. But as of now, it's not that bad. And it's affordable. Our grade 2 lineup, we play from the right deck, 1 copy of Blaster Dark, 3 copies of Blaster Dark for the main deck. Then we play 4 copies of Darkness Maiden Matcha, and then this girl. I've already covered Blaster Dark, so I won't discuss it further. I do have to say that the Twin Drive on your first turn, your first grade 2 turn, is pretty good. It helps you with a lot of pieces, so yeah. Also, the reason why I have to keep mentioning now from the right deck is because recently someone took my deck list out of context and straight up said that, oh, you know, I'm playing a wrong deck and there's I'm playing stuff that's not supposed to be in the main deck, but it was actually for the right deck. So that's why now I have to kind of put everything disclaimer as much as I can consciously remember. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't take what people say out of context. It's not cool. Matcha is another one of the Phantom Blaster Dragon support. Her skill is when placed on Rearguard Circle, she gains 5,000 power until end of turn. So it's a 15k body, okay. Then Soul Blast 1, choose one of your Rearguard to retire it. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Top 5 cards of your deck. Superior call 1 from among them and shuffle. So it's a 15k body for a turn, which is not that bad. And then you get to sack 1 and you replace the body with something else. It doesn't sound very good on paper, and isn't very good on paper, honestly, but there are benefits for this card. As you'll see in our grade 1 lineup, we play this girl, and she's mainly the reason why you actually want to pay the cost to actually change one of your units into another unit, because you actually kind of go +1 for the minusing cost, because PBD's -3 is very expensive, so you actually want to discount that as much as possible. We'll discuss it later. Last but not least, we play these 2 girls. She's a generic. Her skill is Counterblast 1 when placed. Counterblast 1 and rest one of your own rear guards. Look at the top card of your deck. You can either A, superior call it, or B, if it's an order or grade 3, put it to hand. See, this is what Fort and Javelin should have been, you know. If you get an order or something that just can't be called, just boom, add it to hand, just like Rooks. But I'm not here to complain about better decks. We're here to complain about what we have. It's a good +1. It's a bit costed, but you don't really worry about the rest because you're gonna sack them, right? You're gonna sack them. You're gonna sack this girl too because she's just a 10k vanilla. That's why we only play at 2. If you want to play more of her, it's fine. But as you see, we also don't play Facade, so Counter Blast is not really something we have at our disposal. So that's why we just added this 2 off to finish the slot. But she's not bad. For grade 1s, we play 4 copies of Charon, Sage of Darkness Charon. We play 4 copies of Brana. We obviously play 4 of our stronger PGs. And then we also play 4 Javelin, 1 in the right deck. So let's break it down. I've already covered Javelin. There's no need to talk about him anymore. Then we'll cover Brana. Brana is the one I was talking about just now. It's 5k. So you know what that means? You can play this in premium. Well done. The first skill is when you would like to retire this body for the cost of a Blaster Vanguard, you may treat this as 2 corpses instead of 1. So you don't really plus, you just make the cost cheaper. It's like Zorga stuff where, you know, they just, oh, I don't give you the counter charge or the soul charge, I just discount the cost for you. So I guess that's fine. I mean, without this card, honestly, PvD is hard unplayable. So I'm really glad they did print this. So yeah. Then we also have Stronger PG. You play Stronger PG because PvD is not a great deck. You do want to make sure you don't put yourself at an active minus where you can't PG anymore and die. So please just spend the extra money. It's worth it. Lastly, with Charon. Charon has a very simple skill. When placed, look at the top card. When placed, rest this card. Look at the top card of your deck and Spirit Colle. It's a +1 to the body. But then again, it has a drawback, which is at the end of the turn, the called unit is retired. So you better make sure you sack whatever you call with it with Phantom Blaster Dragon, so you don't actively just do a net 1-for-1 cycle. You actually plus from it. So yeah. Lastly, we have our great zeros. We play 3 draw, 1 OT. We play 4 heal, though it's not the better heal, so I'm quite upset. We play 8 crit, and we play a full ball. So let's break it down. Full ball is full ball. Don't have to discuss. OT, this is the better OT. Yeah. We play 8 crit. We understand that PvD is not a great deck, and we also understand that you want to end this game. You don't want to die, so let's just max the crit. We play 4 heal because you want to heal. It's Vanguard. And we opt for 3 draw instead of 3 fronts because you are playing a peace reliant deck that will minus itself. So you should just plus yourself back. There's nothing wrong with it. 3, because it's a minimalistic number of draws that doesn't overtly impact your game, and it still gives you a decent amount of pieces. So yeah, that actually covers Phantom Blaster Dragon. As I've hinted throughout this entire video, and as what you've probably heard from a lot of people, this is currently rated as the next Eugene. This is what people call the worst deck in format. Is that true? I don't think so, personally. I definitely think there are decks out there that are worse. I won't say who, but I certainly don't think this is the worst out of the lot. It's just currently in a very bad slot right now, especially given stuff like Leonard. You have whatever's coming 03, you have stuff like Lorenal. So it's not in a good place right now, but that doesn't mean it can't be in a better place soon. If the meta changes to be more favorable to PvD, or if PvD just gets better stuff from the next set, I certainly don't see why this has to be the worst. It has potential, that's for sure, but it certainly has places where there's easily room for improvement. Because it's very clear when you play the deck what's good and what's not. I really don't have to tell you. And it's very affordable, so it's actually not that bad. It's almost the same price as Hexalot maybe. So it's kind of funny that this was one of the most expensive decks that people were predicting out of the reveals from that presentation, and now it's one of the cheapest. So who knew? So if you do want to pick this deck up because you think it's fun, it is fun. Please pick it up. If you expect something competitive out of this, I wouldn't say so. It's okay, but it's not, wow, you know, Bastion Killer. No, I wouldn't say that. But yeah, I certainly think if you practice this deck well enough, it will give you some form of results, albeit not well done results, not Leonard results, but you'll get something. Thank you all so much for watching. As I said just now at the start of this video, we will be doing 1 to 2 more D decks, and then we're moving on to V-Call season to just do a lot of V decks until DBTO 3. So just stay tuned. If you're looking forward for any V-Call decks, let me know in the comment section below, and if I can afford it, you will see it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.